Hello and welcome to the video. Today is an exciting day because we have a brand new radio from RadioMaster. However, it doesn't look like a TX16S or something more conventional, things like the Boxer and others. It looks like this. This is the brand new MT12 Surface radio from RadioMaster. Now, I've made a lot of videos on how to program a traditional radio to work with ground models, and those setups can be a little bit complicated, but for those of you that like scale cars, tanks, boats and trucks and want more than just a steering and throttle control, it can be a little bit trickier on those larger radios. However, with this new MT12, there is more than enough controls, switches and programmability to do everything, not only the throttle and the steering, but to control your lights, your smokers, additional servos, sound units, and loads of other stuff. And the other big news here is that this is an EdgeTX powered device. So you can absolutely set it up using all the standard stuff that you may use on some of the bigger radios. Now, for some of you watching this, EdgeTX might be something that you're not familiar with, but I'm very tempted to make some specific videos aimed at those of you coming into using a Surface radio with EdgeTX like this MT12. So basic stuff like binding, setting up basic model types, limiting throws, adding expo, those kind of things. But the cool thing is those videos already exist for general flying, and the interface on this with this lovely big screen on top is kind of the same. So although the buttons are in a slightly different position in terms of how you navigate around, how you set things up, it's exactly the same as all the other videos on places like YouTube and in the forums on how you do EdgeTX setup. Now, this is available with both Express LRS, which is what I have here, and also available with a 4-in-1 multi-protocol module, as well as the radio. RadioMaster have also released a number of small little receivers that are perfect for ground-based vehicles. Everything from a little 3-channel one that has a little ceramic antenna to these other 2 5-channel ones, which will do things like measure the battery voltage and give that telemetry back, but also have the onboard antenna or a much longer antenna if you want to operate a little bit further away. Now, inside this radio is an STM32 F4 based processor with 1 mega flash. It has EdgeTX firmware pre-installed, and it also has QC 3.0 fast charging supporting up to 2 amp max. At the bottom, it's powered by a couple of 18650 batteries. They're not supplied in the retail units, so you'll have to pop those in yourself, and you can either remove them to charge them, or to be honest, if you just stick the USB 3 fast charger in, they'll be charged pretty quickly like that. This is a really nice feeling radio in the hands. We'll go through all the switches. This is absolutely bristling with all the additional pieces that you might need with trims, switches, rotary controls. So if you want more than just a basic squeeze and turn kind of controller, this has got you covered, but it can absolutely do basic models too. The antenna at the front is rotatable, which is a good idea. I think I would always recommend rotating this into a vertical position so that matches a vertical antenna on the model, if that's the way it's orientated, which is typically the way you're going to have it on ground-based vehicles. And then you have customized base switches or a 4-way joystick, and you can adjust the PWM outputs on the receiver from 50 to 333 and 400 hertz. So if you have really high end servos, you can crank up the speed that those are working at. They're digital metal geared servos, for example. That's only sadly in the Express LRS version that it will support that. Physical dimensions: 178 by 119 by 208 millimeters. Weight is about 480 grams. It's not too heavy, but it feels nice in the hand. Supported protocols are module dependent. Obviously, I've got the Express LRS one here. That's the one that I think most people would go for new technology. If, however, you have lots of ground-based vehicles with legacy stuff in, maybe FreeSky, Futaba receivers, then the 4-in-1 might be a better option. The display on the top is 128 by 64 pixel monochrome LCD. I really like LCDs because you can see them in all conditions, even in bright sunlight. And again, power is via 2 18650 cells. Firmware upgrade method is via USB or the SD card, and the wheel and trigger are Hall effect as well. There is a module bay which is nano size if you really want to add another module into it, although if you buy the one with the connectivity you need, you're probably not going to have to go anywhere near that. Receiver specs for the little included receiver. This is called the R3CI. It's included with the Express LRS version like I have it here. Power supply, it will run from 4.5 to 8.4 volts. It has a high sensitivity ceramic antenna inside, so there isn't a separate wire, and it comes with the Express LRS 3.3 pre-installed. Just 3 channels. Telemetry power is only 10 watts, so you're not going to get super far away, but then with ground-based vehicles you don't tend to. Battery voltage detection range is going to be from 4 to 35 volts, and it weighs about 4.2 grams. So let me give you a whistle-stop tour of all of the switches on this. Obviously you have the standard trigger underneath. There is adjustment for the travel for that so that you can have it dialed into exactly what suits you. Then we have the standard rotating control at the right. Not a huge degree of movement each way to get full throw. That doesn't appear to be changeable. These 4 things around it at the top are actually the different trims for your channels. This at the bottom is actually your first of the many switches. Then we have 2 rotary controls, both of which have a nice firm center detent, which is going to be handy if you have something like a bonnet or a boot opening servo. That'll be a nice way to control those. And then on the other side, under this little hatch here, you have the SD card. You also have things like the DSC ports, the headphone jack. Additional switches here, you have a couple by the thumb. This is obviously designed for right-handers like most ground vehicles are, and you have a couple of additional momentary switches down here, as well as a regular switch that you can move around. And then you obviously have the lights around the bottom and also up the front of the grip and underneath the front display. At the front is that antenna again. The lights can be changed in the menu to be whatever you want. However, they're not changed straight away. That seems to be a setting that's read on startup. So you can have it like I have it here for police, flashing blue and red, or you can change it to different colours, which is quite a nice idea. If you and your mates have lots of these around, you can set different colours so you can absolutely find your own particular version. As I said in the beginning, I am very excited that we finally have a nice ground radio that is running EdgeTX. If you are somebody that likes ground-based vehicles as well as aircraft, you will probably have felt the difference in capability and programmability between the ground-based radio that you've already got and then going onto your EdgeTX powered radio. The great news is now you don't have to sacrifice any of that programmability. If you want to set this up for a tracked vehicle, you know what? It's going to be easy to do using the standard setup of EdgeTX. If you want to add loads of additional things onto the model and control them all from the single radio controller, then this MT12 will have you covered. So tick V good, RadioMaster. Really excited to see that you are moving into the ground-based stuff. If you have anything that you would like to see of how you do it with this radio, do pop it down below. Happy to make a number of supplementary videos on how to do basic stuff with this in terms of the binding, the model setup, how to assign inputs, adjust travel. All that stuff is exactly the same with this radio as it would be with any other EdgeTX powered device. Thank you for watching the video. If you watch my videos and find them useful, then please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel a lot. If you really like what I'm doing here, you can become a Patreon and support the time I spend helping others and get access to lots of exclusive benefits. Link is in the video description. Remember that all the videos on the channel are organized into playlists, so you can easily use those playlists to find all the videos on a subject that you are interested in. Add Painless 360 to your searches on Google and YouTube, and it'll help you find my content for any particular topic. Thanks again for watching, and as always, happy flying.